Tonight on Our News. Labor Day marches taking place in New Providence and Grand Bahama today. The union sharing how they feel the parades went. Plus, a morning on the water ending in tragedy, leaving 2 men dead and another injured. We have the details. Then, the opposition reacts to its leader being booted out of Parliament after a heated exchange with the House Speaker. And we continue our hurricane preparedness series with our Joshua Williams telling us how technology helps. Our news at 7:30 starts now. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard. Thousands of workers hit the streets despite near record-breaking heat for the Randall Fox Labor Day Parade. They were joined by union leaders and politicians who all stressed the importance of having a strong workforce. Our Joshua Williams was there for all the action.
Workers and members of the country's biggest unions were out in full force for the 2024 Labor Day Parade.
There's tremendous amount of energy here. We are so pleased to see so many persons coming out celebrating the workers of the country and what they would have contributed to the continuance of us as a people.
Prioritizing the work of labor. No worker left behind. That's our theme. And we're here to celebrate another victorious Labor Day.
You know, without laborers, there's no country. And so you're going to see a celebration today of God's grace on us and what it is to be Bahamian workers.
Sir Randall Fox established Labor Day in 1961 and it's named in its honor. But what is the current temperature on the labor front? In recent years, the Davis administration has faced repeated criticism from several unions that represent public service workers. There has also been more than a dozen protests. Labor Minister Pia Glover-Roll says government is interested in getting matters resolved.
There will always be issues. There will always be issues. When there are no more issues, we won't have any work to do. I think that it's important that we remain in a place of social dialogue. Once we stop the conversation, then we have a stalemate. But if we keep the conversation going, if we keep negotiating, if we keep talking, if we keep open lines of communication, then we will resolve the issues.
While the goals and missions of all unions are different, the message across the board is the same: solidarity forever. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
The annual Labor Day Junkanoo Rushout had an unusual twist this year. 2 factions of the Valley Boys Junkanoo group rushed down Bay Street. In recent months, an apparent division has emerged in the Junkanoo organization. In late May, a statement was issued by a group that said a Way Forward committee had been formed and that Trevor Davis had been appointed as interim chair for the organization with a goal of elections next year. Shortly afterwards, an official statement was released by the Valley Boys saying there had been no change in leadership and that Brian Adderley was still the group's chairman. We caught up with Davis during this morning's rush out.
We are calling on the government, we are calling on the NJC to do an intervention because, it's obvious that something isn't going the way it ought to go when it comes to the law and order and licensing of your name and licensing of your brand.
Over in Grand Bahama, workers and union members also took to the streets this morning for their own Sir Randall Fox Labor Day Parade. The march, which started at a lot opposite the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King on Pioneers Way, ended on Independence Park, drawing a crowd of onlookers.
I'm just excited. It's always good to know that we have persons who are out there in our unions fighting for us, fighting for our benefits, our safety, and for more money, of course. Okay? And so, this is wonderful to see a united front with all the unions marching today.
We are small in stature, but strong, strong, strong. We are here to support BMU and the union.
Could public servants soon see a change in their salaries? The Labor Minister thinks so. She's praising the salary review for public servants that's set to get underway in the upcoming fiscal year. Berthany McDermott picks up the story from here.
A long time coming is how Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Roll is describing the recently announced salary review for the public service. Prime Minister Flip Davis announced in Parliament $10 million has been set aside for the review. Glover-Roll says the government has the will to make it happen.
I think it's a long time coming. I'll speak for the public servants who agree that as professionals who are doing the work, their pay scales need to be analyzed. And that is something that has been very important for us. We do have the political will to make it happen, and that is evident in the fact that it has been placed in our budget.
The Prime Minister defended the plan in Parliament yesterday while bashing the Free National Movement for what he says was spreading baseless news about the administration's decision to allocate funds towards the process. Party Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands recently questioned how the money will be used. Glover Rule says it's important public servants see movement in their careers.
The salary review is important as cost of living increase, as positions evolved within the public service. The salaries have not. This is important for those persons who are not engaging increased benefits through industrial relations or industrial agreements, that they have some level of being able to ensure that their salary is moved up. This salary review will give us a proper data-driven analysis of where we need to go and the ability to plan for future increases for public servants.
But when will this happen?
The process will start in the new fiscal year. Once the review is completed, that we are able to make adjustments fiscally in particular as soon as possible. But of course, the review will be used to inform our decisions and inform our planning in terms of our fiscal strategy.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
We have a lot more news to get to, including details of that tragic boating incident that killed 2 men early this morning. But first, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and a happy Labor Day, everybody. A warm and humid evening around the islands right now. 86 degrees is our current temperature outside our studios under partly cloudy skies. Southeast winds at 7 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature, a very warm and humid 93 degrees on the outside. Temperatures around the islands, we are looking at mid to upper 80s across the northwest Bahamas. Here in the capital, we are at 86 in Freeport. Governor's Harbor, you guys are 84. Central Bahamas, we got some low to mid 80s there, but Georgetown seeing some showers nearby. You guys are 82. Deadman's Key, 81. And into the southeast Bahamas, string of 82s with Providenciales, Tricks and Caicos Islands. You guys are 1 degree shyer at 81. Taking a look at our satellite radar composite. Lots of showers and thunderstorms courtesy of a tropical air mass moving across the southeast and central Bahamas and an upper level trough. We're looking for some more showers later on tonight through tomorrow as the system remains in place through the remainder of the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, a boating trip turns tragic after 2 men are killed near Rose Island. And the opposition reacts to its leader being removed from the House of Assembly after a heated exchange with the House Speaker. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Two men are dead and one is in hospital after a holiday boat ride ended in tragedy this morning in waters off Rose Island. At the Police Harbor Patrol on Bay Street, Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings gave a breakdown of what police learned about the deadly incident. Divers combing the crash site found a handgun and ammunition. They confirmed it belonged to one of the victims who is an officer on the police force. Skippings says police were notified around 9:30 this morning after a passing vessel came across the scene in the water.
Preliminary information suggests thus far is that the 3 males were on board a small open hull vessel. They were en route to South Andros when it is believed that they collided with a reef in that area, which resulted in the 3 males being ejected from the water, from the vessel. a passerby vessel in the area observed the male and saw the injured man. He was able to bring the injured man to Harbor Patrol Base, where that male was taken to a hospital and is presently being tended to for his injuries sustained during the incident. The 2 males were pronounced dead, and so we're actively investigating.
A heated back and forth between House Speaker Patricia DeVoe and opposition leader Michael Pintard on Thursday, ending in Pintard being booted from Parliament. The opposition says there's a clear bias against them, and that's not all they had to say. Berthany McDermott has more in this report.
The official opposition speaking out against House Speaker Patricia DeVoe, saying she's out of order after she called on the Sergeant of Arms to remove opposition leader Michael Pintard from Parliament. Pintard says they have not been treated fairly.
We have been patient with the Speaker of the House of Assembly. We certainly understand that in this structure of government, that the Speaker is also under some degree of pressure.
During West Grand Bahama and Bimini's budget contribution, Pintard stood on a point of order regarding a park in Grand Bahama. He claimed the MP was misleading Parliament, but was stopped by DeVoe before he could finish his point of order.
I am entitled as a member of the House of Assembly in getting up on a point of order to say that a member is misleading the House.
It prompted a heated exchange between Pintard and DeVoe after Pintard refused to take his seat as DeVoe tried to move on with the debate. The House Speaker told Pintard he had made his point, but Pintard wasn't letting up.
I did not make the point.
So we understand that.
I did not. I'm going to speak.
You don't tell me no. I am the principal officer in this place, and I am saying to you that I heard you. The world heard you. I am citing Marco City persistently and willfully obstructing the business of the House. Can I now engage the Sergeant of Arms to have Marco City removed from the Honorable House?
All opposition members left together. Free National Movement Deputy Leader Shannon Don Cartwright believes it's another example of a government not wanting to be held accountable.
We will not stand for it, not for us, but for the Bahamian people who we represent.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
When Our News comes back from the break, Greg will be back in the Weather Center with an extended look at temperatures.
Coming up in sports, a historic night for Remo Otabor, and the Bahamas Bowl is set to make its return to paradise.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
This is Our News. Welcome back. A new name is added to the list of Bahamian Olympic qualifiers, and the Bahamas Bowl makes its return at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Here now with Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Marknett. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Marlena, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknett. Let's do show. The next time you see Remo Otabor, you've got to address her by a lot of titles. Two-time NCAA champion, national title holder, NCAA record holder, and now Olympian. By the way, all this happened on one throw last night in Eugene, Oregon. Otabor launched a mammoth 64.19 meter throw on her 5th attempt to win gold at the NCAA Division I Championships. The Nebraska senior became the first Cornhusker to win back-to-back titles in 20 years. She's also one of 7 women to surpass the Olympic qualifying standard of 64 meters this season. Also in Eugene, Athea Charlton earned All-American honors in the long jump with a leap of 6.59 meters, and Giovanna Volcott earned second-team All-American honors in the 400, 16th overall in 51.99 seconds.
The Bahamas Bowl returns to paradise in 2025. ESPN Events made it official yesterday with the announcement that the Bahamas Bowl will return to the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium Saturday, January 4th at 11 a.m. After a one-year absence due to renovations at the stadium, the longest-running international bowl in college football history will return for its 9th edition. This would be the first time the Bahamas Bowl has been played in January and the first time the game has been played on a Saturday. The games feature matchups between teams from Conference USA and the Mid-American Conference.
Bahamas Athletic Pride hosted its first signing day and announced where several young women will be playing softball in the fall. Collegiate player Reagan Ingram will be headed to Voorhees University in Denmark, South Carolina, while high schoolers Caitlin Bain and Janae Bain are headed to the Independent School in Wichita, Kansas. BAP Softball was founded by Deshae Stubbs, who had the vision of showcasing the skill set of young girls and developing the game of softball locally.
To be 14, because both of them are 14, to be 14 and to accomplish such a feat like that is remarkable. And I am lost for words. I've been lost for words all day, so I'm absolutely proud.
It's that time of the week. Let's get to the Labor Day edition of the top plays. At number 5 in the Dominican Summer League, Bohan Adderley hits a home run in his first at-bat, Rashawn Pinder hits a home run and the game-winning RBI on his 17th birthday, and Bryce Dean goes 4 for 5 in his debut.
At number 4, Christian Robinson is getting comfortable at the plate. He hits a second home run of the season.
At 3, Wanya McCoy, sprint double qualifier at the NCAA Champs. Imagine if he kept hooping and never found track and field.
At number 2, we said it before, what's top plays without Jazz? This time, on the defensive side. What a catch.
And at number 1, the reason we had to be on West Coast time last night and are struggling through this Labor Day, Rima Otabor, record-breaking throw in the javelin at the NCAA Champs. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Does it feel weird to work on Labor Day?
Yes, it does.
Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News, meteorologist Greg Thompson is back in the Weather Center with a look at how temperatures will shape up this holiday weekend. Plus, did you know technology can help you be better prepared for a storm? Our Joshua Williams explains how when Our News returns.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Welcome back to Our News. We had some wet weather overnight and a few showers today, but will it continue into the holiday weekend? Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlena, and welcome back, everybody, for our final check of weather. Taking a look at our water vapor, we're seeing where most of the moisture is in place. Upper level trough in the Gulf of Mexico that's spinning across our area. That's going to continue to pump some moisture across us, and we're looking for an unsettled weather pattern for the next couple of days as the system will be slow to move into the open Atlantic, and of course that will bring us some shower activity across the northwest Bahamas, but the most of it will be across the central and southeastern islands over the next several days. Tropics quiet, couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt, nothing organized at this time, and tropical cyclone formation is not expected through the next 7 days. Future forecast showing moisture across our area that will continue to remain in place as that system slowly sides out towards the east. Most of the activity remaining in the central Bahamas and the southeastern Bahamas through Saturday, but by Sunday we expect some of that to be lifting across the northwest Bahamas, once again bringing us a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Your winds will be south to southwest, 10 to 15 knots. It will be falling light and variable at times. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide is at 9:32 tonight. The low tide takes place at 4:05 in the morning. For the southeastern islands, southeast southerly flow, 10 knots. Seas running 1 to 3 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, with that system moving slowly towards the east and across the area, we keep some showers in the forecast Saturday and Sunday. We get a break on Monday, but we expect more showers to be picking up on Tuesday. Temperatures will stay in the 90s, and those triple-digit indices will remain with us, so make sure you do take precautions during that time frame. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
We're already 7 days into the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, and there's still time to prepare. In this next report, our Joshua Williams takes a look at how technology plays a role in being ready for a storm.
While many stock up on food and water, prepare hurricane shelters, and secure their homes, some often forget another important component for hurricane-proofing their life. In the event of this storm, it's important to back up essential information into the cloud, not the cloud in the sky, but the ones found on our computers. IT Help Desk Technician Akil Bahamas Torian Nemor tells us the location of these virtual storage spaces.
Firstly, we have something called OneDrive, and that's a Microsoft solution. It's a cloud solution in which you can actually take your photos, music, and videos, and any other documentation that you may have, and actually upload it to the cloud.
While it's important to back up files that have emergency contacts, other documents are important as well.
Photos, documents, videos, especially your shares videos, you want to keep them.
When the storm passes, what should you do?
Well, you definitely want to see if there's any water damage of any sorts on things that would have been compromised. I would say give some time for things to dry out.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Marlena Leonard. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.